made it through this day. I didn't know if I was gonna make it through this day. As y'all know, I had an very interesting start, and I believe it's all to the good. The way that it started out is all for a purpose. And look at the moon. You see it? I need to get off the street before I get hit. But yeah, it's all for the good. Very interesting. How do I feel about the way that I handled everything? I think I handled it very well. Um, Honorable mention to the people that played really important roles in my life today. I'm working backwards. Young lady at work. Um, the past week, let me rearrange the way I have everything. The past week, there was like 3 people that didn't show up, and they all sat in the same row. And coincidentally, I don't know what it is about me, and it's just by coincidence, I think, for most part, or maybe a combination of the both. But I talked to one girl. After I talked to that girl, either they found out about the place that I was talking about that I was going to that I didn't do, because this is just really gorgeous. Y'all have to see this. You see? But no, really, the moon and everything. You can't really, yeah, you can see it. That is huge, just ginormous, gorgeous. The reflection in the water. Do you see? You see? But anyhow, so, and the duck. It's just too much beauty at one time for me. So all right. So anyways, back to this. But so everybody was gone. Like the first part of the week, there was like the whole row, like literally. And the last thing that I remember was, I think on that Friday, I told the story about how there was this other place, and you know how everything was slow, this, that, and the other. But I wasn't promoting the other place. I was just saying that the other girl was like, "Well, I could do this, that, and the other, and it doesn't matter." Blah blah blah. And I was like, "Oh yeah, they're letting people go." And you know, she was just like, "Whatever." And then next thing I know, Monday rolls around, the whole row is gone. The whole row, like literally, there was one person, like one new guy that was saved, and I was like, I thought to myself, even though I didn't say it out loud, that it definitely must be my fault or my doing, because always, for whatever reason, since I've been there, just, and maybe it's always been like that, but people have just been, even the first day that I came, the person that came in with me, she dropped off like almost immediately. Now, I'm surprised I'm still awake, because y'all know I slept for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, then I had, you know, stuff to do and then drama, whatever, but it's all for the good of God. So, anyhow, I was like, it's my fault. I talked to that girl, and they were just like, okay, we're gone. Because literally, I think maybe this is not true, but I feel responsible for at least, or somewhat partially responsible for one, two, three, 4, 5, and this is a small group. It's not a big group. So that's 1, 2. I feel partially is responsible for at least 5 or 6 people. So it's just my energy, my vibe. So I have to be careful, because I don't want to have that effect on people, and I got to be careful about too. And you know, nobody has said anything to me about it, but I'm sure that they know, because I'll start talking about like, oh yeah, such and such job and blah 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 and blue blue blue, and then people are gonna go check it out, which is not a bad thing. But then too, you know, this is not a bad place either, and you know, there comes a point where you have to kind of weigh out, like, is this the right thing to do or not, you know? And you know, you don't want to be the cause of people quitting a job, whether it's, now the reasons that I think, and God bless anybody that worked there that's watching. Oh, I'm very orange, and it's because of the sunlight. But um, the reasons I think is, one, I'm talking about other jobs. I'm talking about bad experiences that I've had at places, and actually, this is not a bad place. I have to be real with you; it's really not. And then also my negativity towards myself too, and you know, I admit, you know, sometimes I throw off that vibe, and I gotta stop it. So, you know, nobody cares. So stop. So it's just, a combination. So I'm learning, I'm maturing in that way, knowing how responsible you are for the way that other people, feel sometimes, so being careful to be better about that. And then to like sometimes where people might think that it's a snob or it's nice, like for me, which I have no dominion to do because I have nothing. But really, it's just the fact that sometimes I just don't feel like talking, or I haven't built a bond, and so it might make people feel a certain way because I could see like I was at um, like a Sam's Club or something the other day, and there was a lady that worked with me, and I saw her, and she saw me, and it's just like I'm so independent. I didn't want to say anything because it's just awkward. We don't talk, so it would be awkward. But I could tell in her heart that just because that was another human being and we were going the same place, that she wanted to, that she kind of wanted to offer. And it probably would have been interesting because I got to see her, you know, and nothing negative about it, a redneck family family member. It looked like he came from Duck Dynasty, but I like people like that. I like differences in cultures and stuff. So I just thought it was very interesting, And maybe he was racist, I don't know, but from what I saw, it was cute. I didn't see anything bad. Um, but because of the vibe that I give off, even if she really, really wanted to offer, she couldn't. And that should have been like a pleasant experience to bump into somebody, from work or whatever, outside of work, and then to introduce them to family. And, you know, when I think about, I haven't had family in a long time, but when I think back about my mom, you know, it was just a pleasure. Like, people may not love me to death, but, here comes my mom, and people fall in love with my mother come into work or whatever like that. So it should always be a pleasure. Yeah, so those are things I know that I have to work on within myself. And it's not all up to me by myself. I know God has a big hand in it because, if I've been this way for X amount of years, then that's what it is, And when God's ready for me to change, He'll slowly change my personality. He'll slowly change the way that I interact with people and the way people receive me. It's not anything that I'm rushing. I mean, I just have an understanding. And talking about the different people that have played a big role in my life, just for the day, every day, there's a group of people, a person, a situation that makes a big difference. That was the first one, the girl at work. That I want y'all to see this. This is gorgeous. You see? I'm gonna be doing this the whole walk. I'm not gonna make it to where I need to go because I'm doing this. But this is just too gorgeous for everything, you know. And I'm so fortunate just to be here. This all happened by accident. To me, this is beautiful. And for free. But what else was I saying? There's a plane flying by the moon. But okay, back to the girl. So, and I look really orange because it's the reflection of the clouds off the water, off my red face. So, but yeah. So about this girl, going back to her. So I was glad to see her. I was super glad to see her because I was just like, I was scared that I ran everybody off. I really was. Afraid that I somehow was the culprit and all these people quitting. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right. So, she came back and it turns out that she was sick. And at first she said she was on her period and she was sick. And I was just like, oh, and she had medication. I was like, oh, you had medicine for that because it's a heavy flow or something? And she was like, no, she had medication for something different. And she was so open about it. And I'm not open like that because the type of people that I come across on a day-to-day basis, or how they interact with me. And she was talking about anxiety and this, that, and the other. And I was just like, well, do you think that's really real? Or you just, because you behave a certain way because of whatever environment you're in. You have to learn. And I guess that's what it all is for people that don't know how to manage it, is, I guess, cognitive therapy, where you learn what it is that makes you feel that way, and then you tackle it. And I would have never known she had that because to me, she seems very outspoken, very confident, and very good at what she does. I would never have guessed. And she says that she's taking medication or something like that, and she doesn't believe in medication, and she doesn't know if it works or not. And they're basically guinea pigging her. They're just giving her a small dose, and they gave her this huge dose, and she felt horrible, and all this, that, and the other. But she seems very stable and very sound, and I think it's because she has family in her life, and Yeah, so another person that played a big role in my day today. I came to the park, lake, whatever you want to call it, earlier today. I was here, and I was here early because of that situation. Because I mean, I didn't want to feel like a punk, so I went back to the abode, and I was just like, this is stupid. There's nothing for me to do here. I could lay here, and it would not be fun. So I need to go out, get out and go ahead and start my day like I planned. So I did, and I want you to see this bird. I don't know if you can see it. We're too far away. But there's ducks in the water and turtles. And, oh my God, there's lots of turtles. Look how huge that one is. You can't see it though. Anyways, it's too gorgeous for words. Um, I'm getting the old lady wrinkles over here. But so, yeah, so I was sitting out here and I was tired and I wanted to take a nap. But I was just like, you can't really do that out here because that's just not something that you can do. It's not appropriate to do that. And you don't want to bring that kind of vibe to some place that's like this. Do you see the bird? It's right here. But anyhow, so yeah, so I didn't want to do that. There's families and stuff, and the kids are gonna be wondering, well, why is she such and such and such, and then the parents will have to explain, well, honey, she's just taking a nap. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. So I decided instead to, play around with my toy that I got. Then also touch up the nails, which I don't know if y'all can really see from here, but they're okay. Um, and as I was doing that, there was a lady maybe a week or two ago that saw me out here, and she was just like, you remind me of my son's wife or something like that. Her name is such and such. I thought you were her from far away. And I was actually flattered because I always feel flattered whenever somebody says that I look like somebody in their family because that's somebody that's dear to them that they love. So I'm always flattered when somebody says that, because I don't have a family. So it always feels good. So, yeah, so I saw her, but like usual, when I see somebody that notice me or whatever, I always feel uncomfortable because I feel like I don't meet up to their expectations. And so I feel like, whatever it is they thought about me when they had that pleasant experience, they're going to see me again and be like, you know. And so I saw her and I was just like, man. And usually that's how it does go. So we were, I was sitting there. She came over and started talking. So I told her because I was tired of kind of looking up at her because I was sitting on the ground. So I told her to have a seat and I changed my little mat around so she could sit with me. And she was started prophesying over my life, like talking about. I mean, just it was just so funny. It just went hand in hand with, kind of what happened today and what I already knew that God speaks to me. That I forget exactly what the words were, but it was in my heart that basically God doesn't let anyone harm his own. Everything happens for a reason, and just I mean I don't know, just a lot. So I was really it was deep, and maybe it wasn't meant to be shared, and that's why I didn't want to vlog it because usually I vlog everything when it happens, but I don't vlog as much as I used to because I guess I've had some crazy stuff happen. Speaking of crazy, I don't think this is really crazy. I was in Walmart the other day, and I'm gonna stop saying like the words little boy, but there was a young male, and he was just like, hey, you do such and such, right? Could have been good or bad, I don't know. But if they don't say anything negative or show anything negative, I assume that it's mutual and it's all right. And I just didn't say anything. I just smiled and was like, just smile about it. And he's like, yeah, I thought you looked familiar. But you know, as far as my content, um, it's not. It's never been planned out content. Something I sat and took time to put together and whatever. Every now and then I would get creative, like once, like literally maybe 3 times in the years that I've been doing it. And it's not for viewers. It's just for me. It was. Oh, first it was to educate, to show people what I go through and whatever because of the system. But then I guess it's at the point now where I realize nobody really cares. So so it's just kind of evolved into just a diary for me. you know. And if other people happen to see it, fine. And it used to be in hopes that other people would see it that could relate. But now it just really doesn't matter to me. You know, it's just my diary and it's out there because I like to be open. That's all. So, and you guys are going to see like little clips of things, like 10 seconds, because usually it's when I'm on the go. Sometimes I run out of memory. Um, and that's just the way it is. Sometimes I run out of memory. Sometimes I got to run and get on a bus. Or sometimes, you know, something else happens in the middle of me doing one thing and I have to stop altogether. So it's not really for that. When I get a chance, I'm going to sit and watch all of them. And I'm sure some of them are not going to make sense to me because I happened to look back at one that I did not too long ago. And I was like, wow, it was scary for me to watch it because I could feel, it's like when I do them, I like to do it like right when I'm in the midst of whatever it is. So you can feel the vibe, like if it was a bad dream or something that really scared me. And the vibe in that particular video was scary. I have to tell you, it was chilling. It scared the heck out of me. And it was just me talking about stuff, but it was chilling. And somebody else mentioned, like in one of my pick collage videos, they was just like, oh, the vibe is scary. And I think it was because of the expression on my face. And I remember the moment, it wasn't menacing. The feeling that I had wasn't menacing anything. But the picture did look like I was possessed, but I wasn't. But it was just being tired, you know, being ho-hum. That's all it was. So yeah, so that's the other person that made a difference in my life. And there was somebody else, but I can't remember who. There was a third person, but I can't remember who it was because I was so tired doing the first part of my little journey that, you know, I couldn't really pinpoint everything. What else? That's all about it. But I'm really surprised and happy and amazed. I shouldn't be surprised because I know God watches over me. That I actually made it through today because I was so tired. And the only time I slept, I took a little nap on the bus. And I was really out for the count, you know. But I'm thankful. Those two people, I'm thankful for. You know, I'm just thankful for all my situations and the way they all come together because it's all for a greater purpose and I understand it. And I'm very happy about it. So what else is I going to vlog about? I think that was it. Anyways, God bless. Have a great day.